Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Fetch Quest podcast, where we talk about video games and more. I'm your host, Guy, joined by my fellow co-host, Brewer.
Hello.
Connor.
Hello.
And Liam.
Hello.
So, guys, today is a very, very special episode. Today, we are recording our 100th episode.
Woo! Let's go!
Well, I mean, not really. I mean, we just did the April Fool's video.
And the Monster Hunter tier list.
Those don't count. Now, this is the true 100th episode of Fetch Quest.
Yeah, the 100th episode of Fetch Quest Adventurers. It's been a long journey so far, but we wouldn't have gotten here without you guys.
And we'd like to thank you, so much just for watching us so far and subscribing to our channel and stuff. It really means a lot.
And we hope that you continue enjoying the content we put out in the future.
Ah, yes. Thank you all so much, seriously, for letting us and inspiring us to go this far. But now, as a special little treat, you get to know a little bit more about us, and we get to talk about our favorite games, and you get to learn a little bit why we chose these games and why we love them so much. So yeah, I am excited. Yeah, no, I want to get this on the road. Basically how this episode's going to be structured is we're going to ask each other the same questions that we usually ask our guest when they come on. So basically, what's your favorite game? Why do you play video games? And if you were able to replay a game for the very first time again, what would it be again? I have an idea that we're gonna have some very similar answers for why we play video games. But yeah, no, I think this is gonna be a very fun episode. You get to learn more about us in terms of or some of our favorite video games, and it's not topic related. So I'm very excited to see where this goes. Before we did this recording, we did a name wheel, and Name Wheel decided that Liam is going first.
Yes, I'm going
Liam has
first.
volunteered himself as tribute.
It is
by the
true.
system.
And I'm going to talk about my favorite game. It's a very, very popular game, but for good reason, because it's peak. And that game is Red Dead Redemption 2. I have played both Red Dead Redemptions 2 and 1, but Red Dead Redemption 2 is just... It's another game, man. If you don't know what it is, it's a game made by Rockstar. They made GTA. I feel like everybody knows that. And it's a game where you're a cowboy in old America, specifically 1899, and you play as Arthur Morgan. And you're in a gang, and you go around and you rob trains, you go beat up people, and try to get money because you're trying to escape you're trying to move to a deserted island and have a nice life for the rest of your life, but things keep going wrong. And the story follows funnily enough, redemption story of broken people who are trying to make amends and broken people who can't make amends. And it's one of the greatest stories ever told, period, in my opinion. I've cried multiple times at that game. I never knew what was going to happen next. The ending was beautiful, but I want to talk about the gameplay, because the story is something that you got to experience for yourself. If you haven't played the game, you're a lucky person, because that means you get to play the game for the first time. But the gameplay, it is a big game. You can do so many things in that game, and all of them are so fun. You can rob stores, trains, carriages, rob about anything. You can buy and ride horses, take care of horses. You can play a house building simulator where you take care of your tent. You can play blackjack and poker and gamble your life savings. Now that's a good game.
That's a good game right there.
They have bounties where you go around finding people to turn them in for money. Hunting, you can go hunting, go fishing. There's a bunch of side quests. There's one side quest where there's a bunch of people in a village who are all super deformed because the water's been poisoned, and you have to go find the source of the poison, and it ends up becoming this whole thing of oh, this is a government conspiracy of they're actually trying to poison the water. There's an entire plotline where this guy's from the future, but you can't really tell if he's truly from the future. And it's just at every corner of that game has something to do and something to see, and it's so good. It is not a game that you're going to challenge yourself with. It's a very leisurely game for the most part. It is a game that you sit down and you just experience, and you sit back and relax, because it is one of the nicest feeling games to just sit down, maybe hog tie a man, throw him off a bridge and watch him dangle, or like go sit on a porch and talk to some like lonely old woman about her life, and you'll sit there and you'll be like, damn, why am I listening to a virtual woman talk about her life and getting invested in this story? And it's because every single aspect of that game is so well crafted that it doesn't feel like they overlooked anything. And that is why
I like how the difference is in that is like, oh yeah, talking to a nice old lady about her life, and it's like, oh yeah, hog tying a man and watching him get dragged around.
Yeah, it's a beautiful game where you can do everything, because there's an entire system around that called the honor system. And as you like play through the game, the more illegal things you do, like killing people, hog tying people, and throwing them off a bridge and watching them dangle, your honor will dip, and people will be meaner towards you. You'll get less money from from rewards. So like there's an entire system about, if you're a good person in the game, you're gonna get rewarded sometimes, but you're probably not gonna have as much money or as like many opportunities to get money. But if you're low honor, you can do a lot more in terms of like robbing, but towns are going to be meaner towards you. People aren't going to want to talk to you as much. So there's like a kind of balance, or you can just kind of like, it's kind of a hard thing because there's like a wanted system. You could become wanted dead or alive in entire towns, where if you set foot, the entire sheriff's department will come after your ass until you're dead. It's such a good game. I don't want to ramble anymore though, because I know other people want to talk about their favorite games. But if you haven't played it, please, it is so good.
As someone who has played it, I can confirm this is like one of the most immersive experiences in a video game. Like, I don't know if there's like any other game that does a cowboy simulator as well.
I don't think, and this is just me, I don't think there's any other game that just is able to immerse you like Red Dead is.
Yeah, no, that's completely fair.
Dude, it's literally like such an amazing game that South Park had an episode where most of the town was addicted to just playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, the cop didn't go to work because he kept wanting to play Red Dead 2.
Yeah, well, there's more context in the episode, in that episode of South Park for that, especially with Man Bear Pig. But Red Dead Redemption 2 is a very big part of that episode, and it is very funny.
That's insane.
Because Randy's all like, Stan, I've definitely been looking for you while you were missing. It's like, Dad, were you playing Red Dead Redemption the whole time? No.
Bro, I would be too. Fuck them kids. Oh god. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. That's the thing about Red Dead though, is that like it blew up as like a fucking virtual phenomenon when it released, and to this day it's still very popular in meme culture. Like whether that's with mods or it's just like random glitches that happen, or it's just like the world itself being the way it is. It's such a fun game, and I'm glad that it's in like this public conscious of like, hey, like everyone knows what this game is, everyone knows how good it is, and because of that, people are able to like make content about it even to this day. And it's a game that will like stick with you for a while.
Definitely.
Hell yeah. Liam, we must ask you another question.
Alrighty.
If there was a game, I have a feeling on this. I have a feeling as to what this is.
I told you already.
No, if you could play a game for the first time again, what would it be?
Oh, that's so easy. It's not like, I don't think there's another game that comes close to this.
Can I take a guess?
Yeah, of course. I've already told everyone here.
Yeah, but it's funnier if I guess.
Sure.
It starts with an O, and it has a W also in its name.
True.
I believe that the game is Overwatch, and you are an Overwatch gooner.
Holy shit.
I do unfortunately have 1,500 hours in that game.
So Connor's call out wasn't completely out of left field.
To be fair, I also haven't played the game in like 8 or 9 months.
Yeah,
That's still a long
Anyways.
time, though. I don't know if you beat the allegations, Liam.
we're slowly healing Liam.
I have been healing. There have been several games where I've been away enough from them where I'm healing. Anyways, actually, I did think of a second game that I would also, if I could like remove it from memory, I would do it. But I'll just mention that briefly in passing. The game I want to talk about is Outer Wilds. That game is a journey. You can tell my favorite genre of games are ones where you go on like a long journey, and at the very end you just kind of sit back and reflect about your own life. That's what happened with Red Dead. That's what happened with Outer Wilds. That's what happened with the other game that if I could erase my memory and go back, it'd be Amori, because that's another game where I had to sit and I had to think about my life after I beat it.
Honestly, fair, but I had the same
I
experience.
thought about like what am I truly to my friends? Like so many good games, but Outer Wilds is a very simple game in premise. You are just a little alien dude who wants to go see the stars, and you go out with your little spaceship and you die. You can get blown up by the sun. You can fall in a black hole. You can get hit by a giant asteroid and fucking die. You can crash land there are so many ways where you die, but time then resets and you go back to the beginning of the same day, and you find out that the entire universe is going to explode because the sun is about a supernova. So you are now you're not in a race against time. You have as much time as you need because you need to stop the world from exploding, and everybody you love will die. And you're like, man, those stakes are really high. I'm gonna be honest, halfway through the game, I forgot that's what I was trying to do because I was just exploring all the little planets and having a blast. It's such a quaint, cozy game, and I will never get that banjo riff out of my head because it is so beautiful. It was I'm thinking about it right now, and I'm like, I kind of want to go back and replay the game. Anyways, it's just a very simple game. You go and explore different planets to get clues on how to stop this supernova from happening, and you learn about this like ancient civilization. It's a lot of there's a good amount of like text reading, but it's all like cohesive lore about this world, and you slowly like solve puzzles, figure out like there's a planet where you can't land on it because there's no place to land. It's like a giant storm constantly happening. The area is flooded, and there's like places on that planet that you can land on, but you don't know where it is on the planet, and there's giant tornadoes in the way. There's an area called Brittle Hollow where the earth or the like crust of the planet is slowly crumbling in on itself, but as it crumbles in on itself, new areas start becoming apparent and you can go look at them. There's a place where the earlier you go in the day to go to the planet, there's like sand that's rising, and so you have to get there early because the sand will start blocking up areas that you need to go, and it can suffocate you and you will just die. But it's a game all about exploration. It's a journey, and at the end of the journey, it is, in my opinion, the best ending to a video game I have ever played. I have never felt like this with another video game. I've gotten close, but I've never felt the same sort of like introspective that I got when I beat Outer Wilds, and that's why it is an absolute must play in my eyes. Do not search up anything about the game. Never look up a guide, a walkthrough, playthrough, anything. If you get stuck, there is something that you can do that just don't spoil the game, because it is a once in a lifetime experience, and I wish nothing more than to go back and play it for the first time. It is that good.
As someone who has also played Outer Wilds and I'm going to be honest, me and Liam are probably going to do an episode on it soon, hopefully. But as someone who has played all of Outer Wilds, I can 100% agree with everything that Liam said. It is a truly incredible game. It really leaves you to it really does leave you with a just incredible sense of just wonder, and I genuinely cannot believe how good of a game it was and how it took me so long to play. I heavily recommend it.
That's awesome, guys. That's awesome.
Yeah, but those are my two. Those are my two, like, a game. My favorite game is Red Dead 2, and then Outer Wilds is probably somewhere in my top 5, maybe top 10, probably top 5. Yeah, top 5. Anyways, yeah, I recommend playing those two games a lot. Red Dead Redemption 2 is like an 100-hour story if you do a lot of the stuff, so that's like a big time investment. But Outer Wilds, you can beat it in probably like 9 to 12 hours, if I like 9 to 15 maybe, depends on how good you are at puzzles.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
It's so good, but I'm gonna stop glazing my two games and let other people glaze games now.
Well, hold on
No.
now, Liam.
Oh, shoot.
We have one more question for you.
All right, lay it on me.
It's a very
Why
simple
do you play video
question.
games? Oh,
Okay, all right, not all at once, guys. I can't take all this.
Why do you
And-
play video games, Liam? Tell
Uh,
us now.
So I started playing games at a very, very young age, like most people who still play video games to this day. I usually just play it because I'd play it with my family. I'd play it with my mom, my mom, my dad, like my two sisters. We would play family games. They weren't like very like good games, but they were family games. And I'm gonna tell a little story. Guy kind of already knows this. But my dad and we used to play Mario Kart all the time. And it was like the only game he played. He played that and like PGA Tour Golf for the PS3. I think was the other, and like a tennis game. He played 2 sports games and Mario Kart. And there was like a day where I think he was getting more and more busy, and he like sat me down and he went like, I'm sorry, buddy, but I don't think I can like really sit down and play video games with you anymore. And for me, that was devastating, because that was like that was like the main thing I did with my dad, was we'd sit down and we'd play Mario Kart, or I'd like watch him play his PGA Tour golf game, even though I didn't know what was going on. And he's like, but he always played Koopa Troopa, and I always played Dry Bones because I wanted to be like him. And when he like sat me down and was like, I don't think I can play video games with you anymore. It's like, I want you to be the Koopa Troopa, so that whenever you're playing, I'm playing through you instead. And to this day, if there's Koopa Troopa in a Mario game, I will not play another character, because that is something special I have with me and my dad. So much of my family dynamics have been around video games. My sister and I have bonded over video games. We both love Resident Evil a lot. My younger sister watched me play through the entirety of Elden Ring, and we loved every second. We played through, like, me and my family, mostly my sisters now, have just bonded over video games. So it's a place for me to bond. I've met some of my best friends through video games. I've bonded with my family. It's good storytelling. It's my favorite medium of storytelling, and I'm an English major at a college, so of course I love storytelling. It's a very special place for me. It's not an escape, because a lot of it is my reality. I make friends through video games. I make memories through video games, and it's a very special thing to me, and I don't think I'll ever give it up.
well
awesome.
put, man. Holy shit. Yeah, no, that was beautiful. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah,
Liam,
man.
I got some good news for you.
What?
Koopa Troopa is in the new
I know,
Mario Kart.
I know.
And now you can make him wear a funny hat as well. See, at least you have some variety.
Real as fuck. Ah, yes. Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that, Liam. Oh my god. That was great, seriously. Now, moving on from Liam, which so eloquently put it, we have, as the color wheel decided, we have Connor next.
Alrighty.
Or was it Brewer? Hold on. Wait.
I was about to
That
say,
might
I'm
be-
pretty sure it's Brewer.
I am so sorry. I thought it was Connor.
Yeah, I was
The
gonna say,
color wheel-
I didn't want to ruin the tempo or anything, so I was like, you know what, I'm fine going later.
Yeah, that's why I was like so confused, because I'm like, I'm pretty sure I go third.
This is this is crazy because Guy is literally the one who suggested and did the color wheel in the first place.
Yeah, that is true. Okay. This is why you always question the apostles or priest of like a cult or some shit, because they don't know what they're talking about. Their quote unquote gods will be talking to them from one way, and then they'll completely reinterpret it when they're actually saying it. So this is why you never trust me. So
So you're saying
Alright.
you're in a cult, Guy?
Yes, I'm in Fetch Quest Podcast. How'd you know?
Oh my god, we're a cult now. 100th episode
Yay.
reveal, we're a cult. Give us money.
Please. Susan. Okay, but yeah, no. Brewer, you're up next, my dog. So of course the first question being, what's your favorite game?
That is a very, very hard answer for me because I have played so many damn games in my life that I absolutely love. But some of my favorite games of all times, I have a common thing of I really love JRPGs that take too damn long to beat, like usually 100-hour playtime. And out of all the ones I played, I had a couple of different choices. I had the Persona games, you know, I really love those. I really like Dragon Quest, but maybe not as much as Persona. But there's still a lot to enjoy there. But I think the one you probably already know the answer to this, Guy, that I enjoy the most is the Xenoblade series. And the one I want to talk about specifically is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. While I love all three of the games, 3 is the one that I feel like is just the best objectively, in my opinion. That and the one I feel like I just have the closest ties to, considering I've literally cosplayed the main character of the game multiple times.
Well, tell
Like
us,
me-
man. Tell us why you love it so much.
Yeah, so first off, again, big JRPG lover, and I love exploring like vast open worlds in games, and the Xenoblade games have that in spades, especially 3. You have the world of Ionius to adventure through. You have these massive lands to go through with a lot of explorable secrets. Like, seriously, Xenoblade games, I cannot emphasize enough how big those games are, especially their worlds. Like, especially like Xenoblade X, I think that shit's like bigger than Elden Ring, and you can fly around it. Like, it's absurd how massive these games are. So like, there's always something for me to do in game. Then while I'm running around the world, you know, there's all these strong enemies and bosses around, and the combat just really gets me. I love the combat because it's always keeping me on my toes, but it never feels too slow at the same time, even when I'm waiting for like an art to recharge. So there's always a good balance there. I love the class system in Xenoblade 3, like how much variety there is in the strategies you can use to beat the game. I just love all the little systems they added and the neat references to the first 2 games as well in the combat. Like Xenoblade 1's arts, in that game, they would recharge over time, whereas in Xenoblade 2, anytime you hit an enemy, it would start recharging an art. So in 3, when they have both of the worlds combined for reasons I won't get into because spoilers, you have both of those arts just for the different factions, and you can use both of them when you have multiple classes from each factions, which, God, it's just chef's touch. But I think the 2 biggest things that get to me for Xenoblade 3, first is I'm going to say is the music, because, God, Xenoblade 3 has one of my favorite soundtracks in any video game ever. It's up there with Persona, but 3's has really touched me. Like, when 3 was nominated for Game of the Year in the Game Awards, and Pedro Eustache was playing his part for Xenoblade 3, I think I might have teared up a little because it was just genuinely beautiful. it has a soundtrack that's composed mainly through a lot of different flutes and guitars, and it makes for some really, really sick themes, especially the battle themes. The You Will Know Her Names is one of my favorite battle themes of all time, because I can always get pumped to it. And it has a lot of songs that are really good and fitting for the story as well, especially during a lot of more somber moments that really you don't want the loud blasting music for. They take a seat back, just play a more quiet tune that really gets you immersed into what's happening. And the last thing I'm going to mention is the story, because I love the story in all the Xenoblade games. And honestly, it could be a toss between which one I decide is my favorite for story, just depending on what aspect I'm looking at. But the reason I think I love 3 so much is just because how it relates to me as a person. A lot of 3's themes is just trying to move on from the present that's comfy for you to move on to a more uncertain future. Because if you just keep going on and on with the same things, then just nothing's ever going to change for you. So, and I think with a lot of the games I've played that just reflect on life in general and what it means to you in the short amount of time we live, I just love 3's so much, because the characters they only live for a short 10 years, so they really do have to make the most of their lives. They're soldiers. They're basically just cattle that keep getting thrown into an endless war, and they challenge the system and fight it to where you aren't going to just be complacent. If you want change, you're going to step up and make it happen, and you're going to make it happen for everybody as well. And even though your future is going to be really uncertain doing that, it's better than just sitting back and doing nothing. So there's a lot more reasons I could go into why I love the game, probably for a future episode of Xenoblade 3. But I think that's why I'm going to put it as my favorite game.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. No, that's what's up. Like, as someone who's played Xenoblade 3, that game, like, has a lot of heavy themes. So it's like, it makes sense that, like, you know, we have fans of it, especially like you, who have it as, like, one of their favorite games, if not their favorite game. So, like, yeah, no, thank you for, like, telling us about that, dude. Because, we haven't discussed a lot of Xenoblade 3 yet on the channel. We're eventually going to do an episode on it. But yeah, no, I'm just really glad to, like, hear about your experiences with it and, like, what it means to you, dude.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, it means a hell of a lot to me, considering I've literally cosplayed one of the characters. That, and I have an unfathomable amount of Xenoblade merch, I'm not gonna lie.
That you do. That is entirely true.
I may just have a little obsession.
I remember going over to Brewer's house one time, and I saw a jar full of milk, and I asked, like, what was that? And he's like, oh, that's my Mio amiibo.
Damn, it took you a while to bring that one out.
I'm gonna be honest, I forgot his name.
Damn, Connor.
I was like, what's her name again? Oh my god.
I think it's Bio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, funnily enough that you mentioned that, I do have a complete collection of the Xenoblade amiibos, loose and boxed as well.
It's funny you mentioned that. I do have a cum jar.
Yeah, I have all the Xenoblade amiibos. I have a replica core crystal. I have the Xenoblade 3 Special Edition. I have 3D printed flutes of Noah and Mia's flutes from Xenoblade 3, along with Lucky 7. I have a lot of Xenoblade stuff.
Really?
Yes, guy.
I couldn't tell. Oh my goodness.
Okay, I don't want to hold us up for too long though, so next question.
Yeah, of course. With the next question, if there's a game that you could replay again for the very first time, what would it be and why?
Okay, so the game I'm about to talk about, this isn't like a game I'd really even say is within my top 3, because honestly, a lot of the games that are in my top 10, I would say I'd like to replay from a fresh start without having any knowledge of the game. But the one that I want to do it the most for is the Somnium Files. And the reason for that is anytime I've recommended it to a friend, they've had it such a different experience for me because of all the different branching paths. which leads to so many different theories on like what's gonna happen, how the mystery is gonna go down, how did the murders happen? Because in the game you play as Kaname Date with your AI assistant Aiba, who's like literally like an eyeball implant that he has that can talk to him. And throughout the game, you play detective. You know, you go around crime scenes, you investigate, you question people. But what's unique about the game is you can go into people's dreams, the Somnium world, to find answers about what happened and like what they're hiding as well. And each time you investigate those Somniums, usually there's a couple different branching paths as well for what you want to do, which leads to like so many different endings. Like I think there's like maybe 8 to 10 different endings you can get, if we're also including some of the joke ones. But each of the endings does a really good job at just focusing in on a couple of different characters until you eventually get to the true ending, and just really getting you immersed into the world, the characters, some of their struggles. Because characters that you would initially hate, like there's a dude named Ota who literally white knights for a girl multiple times by using fake accounts to pretend like he's protecting her online. He's a character I grew to genuinely love by the end of the game because of the struggle with his family, his mother who has dementia. It's like, dude, why the hell do I care about this guy so much? He was literally white knighting like 10 hours before. But
Dude, yeah, no. You first. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, it's like, dude, it's crazy, especially considering I think I have his autograph as well.
You do. I remember you got it from GalaxyCon. Yes.
Yeah. One day I'd like to get autographs from everyone in Somnium Files, because one thing I want to mention is like it's a visual novel, and visual novels are probably one of my favorite genres of games. And a lot of visual novels, they struggle with having like full voice acting, mostly because like if it's an entirely text-based game, you'd have to have the voice actors speak a lot of lines. Like, so some visual novels are literally bigger than the Bible. I'm not even making that up. So voice acting can get very expensive, but Somnium Files not only has voice acting, they have multiple different languages for their voice acting, and it's full voice acting too for every single thing in the game. Like casual conversations, important cutscenes, but also just when you're looking around the world and clicking on different things, they just get some flavor text. Not only is it written really well, like Date and Aiba have great chemistry, and a lot of the other characters too can be really funny, but all of it's voice acted as well. So like I can always see these characters' personalities just come to life because the voice actors too did a damn good job. Like I mentioned this before, I want, like, I got Ota's autograph, but I'd love to get the autographs of all the other people who had roles in this game as well, because they all did a fantastic job. I can't think of a single person who flubbed their role at all, or had a couple bad lines. Man.
Hell yeah, man.
Somnium Files. I love it. Again, if you haven't played it, I would highly recommend it, because it's very likely you will have a very different experience from me with all the branching paths and all the decisions. That, and just with the way they strategically put the information out in the game as you learn everything, it can lead to very different theories on how the murders actually happened and how to solve the mystery. Because I know Guy had a very different experience for me when he played. Because his theories involved like multiple different cults, which is maybe why he was talking about cults earlier today.
Wait, hold on. I actually forget what theories I had while playing that game. What was one of them that you remember? Without spoiling, of course.
I think one of the theories you had is like one of the characters close to Date was a part of a secret organization or cult or something that was controlling stuff behind the scenes.
I think I know who you're talking about. Dude, look, all I'm saying, at the moment that I was playing the game, it made perfect sense to me.
No, it's fine. Especially because my theories, like, I went through probably one of the more wackier endings on my first one, so I completely understand. Because I was completely off the mark when I was going through my first ending, just because of how different it was than all the other ones. But it was still very vital because the information from that ending helped me to further understand the story once I got to the other endings, which is why I love it so much. All of them are very interconnected. There's not a single piece of information that doesn't somehow link into another character or another aspect in the story, which is why I would want to replay it if I lost my memory.
Fair enough, man. I've played AI the Somnium Files too, and I've got to say, like, oh my god, that is such a good mystery of a game. Like, I personally, like, was constantly kept on my toes. The game is very much not predictable, like, whatsoever. So yeah, no, I'm with you on that. That is a game I would love to play again for the first time. Just, like, have that, like, 30-hour detective mystery game just, like, be told to me again would just be magical.
Yeah, and I think the last thing to mention before I go on to my last question is I love how it's a game that I literally just walked into GameStop during a Black Friday sale. I found it on the shelf. The box art looked really good, and I saw some reviews online saying it was good, and I just randomly decided to pick it up, and that was one of my favorite visual novels of all time.
Isn't it actually your favorite?
I think it would be my favorite visual novel, because don't get me wrong, I love, like, the Ace Attorney series, and there's a lot of other visual novels that I love as well, but I think I have to give it to Somnium Files because of the intriguing mystery and the characters, but also the full voice acting does really do a lot for me. It feels like a very modern visual novel versus just like the older ones that had more limitations, especially with voice files. Though yeah. I can't understand why not all games have that, including like Ace Attorney, one of my other favorites, just because that's damn expensive. Some of those games are long.
Truing.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Alright, well, shit, with that being said, I guess we can move on to Brewer's final question. Ooh. So, Brewer, I have a question. Why do you play video games?
That's a question I also have many different answers to, because on one hand, they're just fun. I like playing video games. They're a lot of fun, but if I'm going to get a little deeper into the question, video games have just always been an outlet for me to express myself, but also to just connect with people. A lot of the friendships I have today, I wouldn't have if not for video games. Like, oh, we both enjoyed Mario Kart together. Oh, we both played Monster Hunter together, and now we're good pals. But video games have always just been my way to connect to people, because they've always just been a big part of my life. They're a whole part of my personality. I wouldn't be who I am without them. I couldn't imagine if I was born in the 1800s or something, what a version of me back then would look like. With same personality, but no video games. Because so much of my life is shaped around them. I mean, hell, I'm doing this podcast as well, because I love them so much. But they've always they've been a safe space for me as well, because whenever, like, life's kicked me down plenty of times, and I'm feeling down, I can always just go back to play some games, and it'll be my happy place. It'll be my solace. Even during times where I felt really lonely and isolated in my life, at the very least, I could play some games just to, like, at least keep my mind off it. They've always been a safe space for me, which is why I just feel so close to them. But also, I always view them as, like, an art form as well. Especially a lot of my favorite games, I view them as genuine art, because the amount of passion that was put into them, but also the messages the creators wanted you to receive. So I always just like playing a large variety of games, so I can just see a lot of different perspectives to try to understand people better as well.
Hell yeah, man. No, that's a very eloquent way to put it. Like, video games, like, we forget a lot of the times that, like, video games, even, like, the most random mobile game that you played when you were, like, 12 has an impact on you, and it changes you as a person. And it's just, like, you saying that just really reminded me of, like, those times, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would not be who I am today without a lot of the games I play. Like I mentioned, like, with Xenoblade 3 and some of the lessons that game had about life and just being able to move forward. The Persona games, especially, like, sticking to your beliefs and your justice, and Persona 3's story about just what we make of life in general. I would not be the same person I am today without those games. So I just always got to thank those games for being fantastic. Oh, that and I guess Ganondorf forward smashing friends is very funny is another reason. Again,
Real.
that's what I love video games. You can have a lot of variety. You can have stories that genuinely bring a tear to my eye, like Mori. But then also I can be cursing at my friends because they threw a blue shell at me in Mario Kart. Gotta love
Yeah,
it.
no, exactly, dude. That is one of the
Dude,
reasons to love video games.
I do love throwing a blue shell at my friends, but I never have to because I'm always in first.
Then just blue shell yourself, forehead.
Fuck, you're right.
Bro, just play on all items are blue shells. Just that's all you gotta play on, bro.
Dude, I really hope they bring back that mode in Mario Kart World. That would be so funny. Open world Mario Kart, but the only items are blue shells.
God, I want that so bad. You have no idea.
We'll see. It's a couple months away.
But yeah, no, I'm completely with you, Brewer. Like, video games are just a way to express ourselves, and it's like, it's a very soul-forming like medium, and I'm really glad you brought that to light.
Oh yeah. No, again, thank you for letting me talk on this.
Yeah, of course. But moving away from Brewer, we now have the Color Wheel's next victim, which I know this one's right. It's Connor! Hooray!
Actually, Guy, you're next. You need to be ready for this.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. You are not gaslighting me.
This is how we find out that guy is actually colorblind as well.
No! Please, not that!
As your punishment for bullying Liam for being colorblind all the time, we permanently made you colorblind while you were asleep.
Oh my god. You just take out the receptors in my fucking eyes that, like, that make me see color, that'd be fucked.
Nah. I do the funnier solution. I put, like, rose-tinted goggles on you, and I just Gorilla Glue them to your face.
That's crazy. Oh my god. But Connor, it is your time. It is your time to shine, my brother. I must ask. Connor, what is your favorite game?
I cannot remember if I've said this in a video before, but I probably have. But my favorite video game of all time is Super Mario Galaxy for the Nintendo Wii and the Nintendo Switch.
That's a damn good choice.
Yeah, so this game is both just really important to me from my childhood because this was one of the first big games I ever played. I remember playing it all the time in my in this little like basement like hangout area at my grandfather's house. And it was just some of the best memories I had when I was growing up and going through like elementary school and stuff like that. And I replayed it whenever because I always had that feeling after I had grown up of like, was I just blinded by nostalgia? Was this game actually as good as I remember it? And then I played it on the Switch whenever it got added. It got the like 3D All-Stars thing, and it's just as good as I remembered it. It is if any of you have not played the game, Mario Galaxy is a 3D Mario game where you essentially explore the Mario like universe's like space. You explore space, and it's just full of some of the most creative and fun levels that I think have ever been in a Mario game. It's got one of the coolest some of the coolest power-ups in the game, some of the coolest concepts for the levels. Like personally for me, like I really can't name them because I think it's just they're all just so great. It's got probably one of my favorite characters just in general. It's where Rosalina was introduced to the Mario series, and I absolutely love Rosalina. She's like my main in like any Mario spin-off that has her in it.
You're saying things about me with Mio. I have a feeling you have some Rosalina amiibos in a jar.
I actually don't have any Rosalina amiibos. I need to fix that.
I've physically altered Connor's life.
Jar. He needs to put her in the cum jar.
True. But I really just cannot explain my love for this game. I replay it every single year because it's just that good of a game that it has so much replay value on like how fast I can beat the levels, on how like different strats I can use in order to beat certain levels fast. And I always make sure to 100% it whenever I do that that yearly playthrough because it's just so much fun and every level is just incredible. And I just like I might give a little peeksies behind the scenes, but me and Brewer have actually recorded a Mario Galaxy video as a backup, and so I'm not going to say too much here because who knows, maybe depending on what Nintendo shows, that video might get uploaded in the near future.
Ooh.
Yes, but that's really all I'll say on Mario Galaxy. I just think it's an amazing game. I think Nintendo really cooked. It's my favorite 3D Mario game, and I love Odyssey. I think Odyssey is an amazing game, but it is my favorite 3D Mario game, and if I see another motherfucker on social media say it's worse than Sunshine, I'm going to have an aneurysm.
But it is.
It's not.
Connor, I've played both. It just is.
I mean,
Yeah.
but Connor, Galaxy has motion controls, which objectively makes it worse, right?
No.
Unlike Sunshine, which is so expertly designed, like with the pachinko level.
Yeah, with the pachinko level, or you know what's okay. You know how I can tell that Mario Sunshine is worse than Mario Galaxy? The best levels in Mario Sunshine are the levels where you don't have FLUDD with you, and that is not a joke. Like, and I just think that's really fucking telling. But
that game's good. What do you mean?
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that I see so many motherfuckers praise Sunshine like it's the best game ever made when it's just mid. I'm sorry.
Fake fan, fake fan, fake fan.
Yeah,
Damn, Connor, I can't believe you're saying that when Mario Galaxy is mid compared to Mario Galaxy 2.
dude, I wish they would have ported Mario Galaxy 2 with All-Stars. Like, that game is just that like I like Mario Galaxy more, but I will say that Mario Galaxy 2 is probably better than Mario Galaxy.
At least in terms of level, I like the world more of Mario Galaxy 1 because actually you can get a little more immersed in its story. Like, you don't play Mario games for the story a lot of times.
Yeah.
But it's still an important aspect. Like, I love the observatory a lot more than like the Luma starship.
Yeah. Then and like it like I will say this. Again, Mario Galaxy is my favorite game of all time. Just because it's my favorite doesn't mean I can I won't accept that there are flaws with it, and that Mario Galaxy 2 is probably the better game. Because it does what it takes the base and the stuff from Mario Galaxy and improves upon it. And like if they ever do port Mario Galaxy 2, which I hope to God they do someday, because that game is really good and it needs to be ported, then it'll probably be that. But I think that's all I have to say on Mario Galaxy. I think it's great. I think it's just got some of the best levels in 3D Mario, and don't let Brewer's comment fool you. It does not have motion control. The only motion controls it has are to collect little star bits and to do the flip. But if you play the Switch version, you do not need motion controls at all.
Yeah, it depends on the version you play. On the Wii original, I had to suffer through some. But mostly with like the spring power-up.
Yeah, I forgot that also controls with the spring power-up. I never really had a problem with that. But yeah, but I guess now I have to answer the question of what's a game I would play if I could do one without any memory of it. And that's hard. That's really hard. Man, I guess
Is it gonna be Undertale?
no, it's not Undertale. I love Undertale. Undertale. I really do love Undertale, and I think it's great. I mean, hell, we're probably going to be doing a video on it soon. Because Deltarune on June 5th, Deltarune on June 5th, Deltarune on June 5th. Okay, I gotta control myself, but I think it would probably have to be Astrobot.
Oh, really?
Yes,
a
it's
very recent choice.
yes, and I know that's
Exactly.
shocking because it is a very recent game. It's like tied between Breath of the Wild and Astrobot for me, but I do think Astrobot because that game was like a Mario Galaxy 3 to me. It was just it had so much of the charm and the love and what made Mario Galaxy so incredible to me. And I would love to replay it having no memory of what to do again because I think we said this in the Astrobot video, but my experience with this was pretty unique where I played it in a single weekend over at Guy's house.
It was so funny.
It was very funny. And the only reason I took the copy was so I could 100% it, I'm pretty sure. But if I were to replay it, I would do it for that reason. So I can have my own unique experience with it where I'm not having to rush through it really heavily and I could just take my time with it and enjoy it at my own pace. Because I was a little pressured of like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat this in the time I leave. So I was like rushing through and I felt like I wasn't taking in the full experience of the game sometimes. But it's still a fantastic game and I 100% would replay it again if I had the choice to.
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's really
fantastic
funny.
choice.
Yeah, no, that's a great choice. I fucking love Astrobot. That's like one of the best games I've like played in the most recent console generation. But like, dude, I think it's really funny calling back to like that time because when we were hanging out, there would just be moments where we didn't talk for like an hour, and I was like, because dude, I couldn't tell if you were enjoying the game or not, and I was like, hey Connor, what do you think? And he was like, you were like, dude, I'm gonna be real, I think this game is like Galaxy level good. I was like, wait, really? And he was like, yeah, I think it's really good so far. And I just couldn't tell because he was blank stare playing the game locked in the entire time. It was so funny.
That's just how I play games. Like I just like I think so much to myself that like I like have all my thoughts in my head and like think of through it like that, and I rarely talk. And so that's why.
I just want to imagine guys just like chilling at his house, and then Connor's in the corner playing the game, just imitating Solid Snake to the best of his abilities.
Yeah, and it also was that like I think you were also starting up Metaphor at that time, so you were also locked in
right.
playing Metaphor. So it was like a
was great, yeah.
yeah, and I will play that soon.
I need to finish it soon.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I think I'll go with Astrobot. I think yeah, like yes, it's a recent choice, but it's just such a great game, and I really think that it's just it's hard to explain. We do also have a video on Astrobot, which you guys should check out if you haven't.
Do it.
But yeah, it's a fantastic game, and anything we say about the game can be seen there. But yeah, it's just incredible. Like some of the best game, just one of the best games in general in the past like 5-10 years, I'd say.
No, I agree, man. Like Astrobot was such an amazing experience that like it reminded me that like AAA developers can like not only make 3D platformers but make like passion projects of like that quality where it doesn't have to be like some 20-hour story-driven narrative or like a very very glitchy experience on launch, you know what I mean? It's a reminder of like games can and still can be great.
Hey, I mean, we're getting a new 3D platformer soon with Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Monkey.
This is true.
Yeah, but yeah, and I really hope Astrobot's success and hopefully Donkey Kong Bonanza success, we'll start seeing a new resurgence in 3D platformers, because I really think they have some of the best potential for just games in general.
No, I'm with you on that, man. I agree. But getting into that final question, man, we gotta ask you, Connor. What? Why did I say what? Why do you play video games?
That's a very loaded question. So when I guess I'll start with I guess I'll explain how. When I want to say around 5 years old, my dad had got me a Wii, and I remember just so many times of playing Super Mario Bros. Wii with him, and we would find all the secret exits and entrances. I remember we looked up a YouTube video on where to find the secret exits to the levels, and we did the same thing with the Wii U version, and that's just such a beloved childhood memory of mine of having my dad look up on YouTube where to get these secret entrances so I could 100% the game. But I think that's where my love of video games started, is just due to that connection I had with my dad and playing and stuff like that. And it slowly, it kind of fostered from there, and then it dwindled because in 6th grade, I got an Xbox, and I really only played stuff like Gears of War 4 and Call of Duty on it. And it wasn't until I want to say 2018, 2019 when Smash Ultimate got revealed. And I had zero clue what Smash Brothers was. I was a pretty I'll say it, I was a pretty normie gamer. I really only played big shooter games, as I said, Call of Duty and stuff like that. But then I started seeing a bunch of stuff for Smash Ultimate, and I got interested, and I bought the game, and from there, I have become who I was today. Of playing all these different franchises, all these different games, and expanding my horizons into genres I had no idea I would even love. And I will be dead ass. I would not be. I think Brewer, you said something to the effect of this too, of I would not be the same person I would be today if I had not played, or if I had not gone into video games when I did.
Yeah, definitely. Their experiences, along with pieces of art, which is why they can shape us as people.
Well, it's not even that. Literally, I would not be here, in this call right now if it wasn't for that, because I would not have met and became close with Guy if I had not gotten interested in Nintendo and
if you didn't get some good opinions.
Because I remember I had watched a Nintendo Direct, and then I want to say either a month or a bit later, I saw Guy, because we had shared a class together at school, and I saw him with his Switch playing SMT5, and I was like, oh, is that SMT5? And he was like, yeah. And then we sort of talked for a bit, and then slowly from there, our friendship blossomed into what it is today, where Guy will try and get on my nerves, and then I'll get mad at him, and then he'll laugh. I miss the good old days. I miss the good old days of where we would have genuine conversations.
I'm very surprised back in the good old days he was playing SMT at school, because that is not one of the games I would be playing at school, especially if you run into a demon like Mara.
Dog, high school was so fucking easy. I was so bored. I needed shit to do, dog.
I mean, listen, I don't blame Guy, because the class we shared was basically it was basically just a free period. You got to do whatever.
Yeah, no, it was our section. It was our online section, because me and Connor were enrolled in a early community college to get some credits out of the way.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they counted as because we took community college credits. It counted as a course in terms of time for our high school. So basically, during that time, if we literally could do the online courses at our own pace, because they are literally online courses. So literally it was just a free period, and that's when me and Connor hung out a lot. And it was goated.
I just remember going into our counselor's office, and we would just chat about video games. It was awesome.
Yeah, and oh my god, and she would shit talk the staff the whole time. Oh my god, it was so funny.
Honestly, yeah, dude, I miss junior senior years. That time was the shit.
That was the shit, man.
Oh no, Connor peaked in high school.
No, I peaked. I peak on June 5th, 2025. That's where I peak.
Damn, that's kind of crazy considering this is going to be 2 chapters of peaking.
Exactly.
Then you're going to have to wait
Oh
like
my
5 years
God.
again for the rest of your life to peak.
Yeah, but that really didn't answer why. I think I play video games just because A, life kind of sucks sometimes, and you just need an escape from that, and B, like I guess I'll go in like a list. B, I genuinely think video games are one of the best mediums for storytelling, and I think they are such great. There are so many games that can be considered art forms, even if you don't realize it. Like any game can have a meaning behind it and has an art form, even if you don't realize that. And I've just been so interested in them, and I've been wanting to, as someone who's always had a creative strive to want to create. I think video games are just such a great way to do that. And then C, they remind me of my connections with my friends and my family, and even if I won't like directly play, like, I mean, Guy, I don't think me and you have played a game together in a while. Well, actually, no, that's not true. We played Monster Hunter last month before my PS5 controller started drifting.
Yeah, I was about to say, we play really often, actually.
Yeah, it's just we haven't played Fortnite in a while. That's why I'm sad, because we haven't played Fortnite.
Fuck, you're right. We need to play Fortnite after the recording.
No, because my controller's still drifting.
Kill it.
I'll be getting a new controller this weekend, hopefully, though, and then we'll play
Yay.
Fortnite.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's probably why I play video games. I just think they're a great medium. I think they're a great way to tell stories. I think that, and they just remind me of my friends and my family and the people I care about the most, and they're also just fun. Like that's the bottom line. They're just fun.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah, that's about it for me, though. And I think now it's finally time for Guy to speak.
All right, Guy.
Hey, that's me.
So,
That's me.
So, first question: what is your favorite game?
Alright, so... Fuck. This game I'm about to talk about is one I have talked about before on the channel, and is one I've talked about y'all before. It is a game that is universally loved for everything it does, and it has changed me as a person. Not only have I formed connections with it, but it's also like made me realize like what video games can be, and that game is Fortnite.
Oh my god, so right. Guy clapping fast gif. Guy clapping fast gif. He's so right.
Oh yeah, you know it. Okay, now for the actual fucking thing. No, I am referring to Persona 5, and y'all have most certainly.
Do you mean Persona 5 Royal? They're two different games.
Fine. If I had to pick one, it would be Persona 5 Royal.
Is it the
Yeah, no.
PS5 or the PS4 version? Or the Nintendo Switch version?
Or the Xbox version, or the PC version. There's a lot of versions of this game, okay?
Or did you play the original Persona 5 on PS3?
Fuck that.
No, seriously, there's so
I
many
forget that's
damn
a
versions
thing.
of Persona 5.
I forget that's a thing. That's crazy, actually. Okay, basically, getting into it. Yeah, no, Persona 5 Royal is my favorite game that I have ever played. Persona 5, for me, like, before I get into the summary, like, explain, like, how it's affected me. It came kind of at the perfect time in my life, where, like, I was a 15-year-old who, like, was still getting a grasp of, like, who he was as a person. Like, this was, like, freshman year of high school. And this was when I still wanted to be an engineer, which is fucking crazy, because that was such a long time ago. Oh my god. But this is just when, like, I really didn't have media that, like, influenced me that much as a person. At this point, like, the only real, like, game that I would say has profoundly, like, changed me would be God of War at this point, which is still one of my favorite games ever. It's, like, my second favorite. But basically, in Persona 5, you play as a high schooler named Renamamia. That's his canon name, at least, and you are the leader of the Phantom Thieves, which are basically a group of high schoolers who have the ability to go into the minds of people and basically steal their hearts, or basically it's a culmination of their desires, and you're able to change said hearts. And basically they have the motivation of taking down the evil and crooked, like, grown-ups and adults who are abusing society and, like, using their power to ruin others' lives. And it's, like, explaining it is hard to do because it's a game that not only is a turn-based dungeon crawler, but it is also a life simulator where you go to class and you spend time with friends and you have to study for exams and you have to do this all in the high schoolers, like, perspective. But it's some of the most engaging, like, gameplay I've ever experienced, even the social life stuff, because I'm actively growing as a person, like my player character at least, and, like, making the decisions that would help better me within the dungeons or within, like, the social simulator. And the thing is that Persona 5, for all of its, like, quirks and all of its, like, really funny moments, I think this game really hits its stride in its, like, themes, character writing, and plot, because the game does an excellent job of using its themes of rebellion and self-actualization and bettering yourself, not only for, like, a grander future, but also for those around you. It hits home so hard, and I think I've never played a game that has had such an effect on me in terms of, like, character writing and emotions, that I'm gonna be real, I'm still waiting for that game to hit me like that. There was one that came out last year that, like, not last year, 2 years ago, that hit me not as hard, but close to it, and it was Baldur's Gate 3. But I think in terms of just, like, the character writing and everything that is put into that game, there is no contender. I don't think I'll ever experience a turn-based RPG like Persona 5 ever again. And hell, everyone in here, y'all, this is y'all's turn to speak. I think everyone in here can say it's like a top 5 game for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love Persona.
Yes, we do.
Yep.
I've spent a questionable amount of money on Persona autographs.
Actually,
That's goated, though.
I have a Persona 5 autograph too. It's right by my bed. It's of Takemi, and Guy got it for me at a con. It was very awesome.
Yeah, that night literally got to ask Robbie Damon a pancake question at that same convention.
That was so funny.
I got a short of that if you have it.
Yeah.
That was so funny. But yeah, no. Basically, like, this game has had such a profound, like, impact on me that, like, even if I have played games that are, like, objectively better than it, I don't think they're just gonna compare in terms of, like, my feelings towards it. Because, again, it came to me when I was, like, a developing adult. And also, this is, like, the game, I'm gonna be dead ass, this is the game that kind of made me decide that I want to be a writer. Because, like, I want to impact people as much as it had me. So I have some fucking history with this thing. Like, hell, I played Joker in Smash Bros. I have so much merch of Persona. I've met the some of the actors before and gotten some of their autographs. It's insane. Like, I have dedicated a lot to this game, and it's just because of how much it's, like, affected me. And I'm really glad that, like, I'm able to just, like, basically suck its dick right now, because I need to, like, get across why this game is so important to me.
Beyond the dick sucking, I do have a quick follow-up question.
What's up?
So you mentioned that when you played the game, that's when you decided you want to do a lot of your writing. Was that... Sorry. At what part of the game did you decide that? Was it the original Persona 5, or did you decide after playing the Royal section? I'm just a bit curious.
Okay, it was the Royal section, and there's, like, a multitude of factors as to why that is. So I played Royal when COVID happened, because, I mean, that's when Royal released, like, for America. It was during COVID. I was questioning a lot of stuff about my life during the COVID period, because, like, prior to the COVID period, I was like, oh, I like messing with stuff and building things. Let's become an engineer. But it's like, because I was, like, still like kind of iffy about what I wanted to do with my life, that's when I was like, like, of course I was secluded from everyone. I wasn't in fucking school. I had to like do something with that time, and thankfully around that time I took fantasy fiction in high school, which helped me just like be creative with like what I had to offer and like with my ideas. Not only that, but like that in tandem with Persona 5 Royal made me realize that like I have something I want to share, and it's something that like I cannot just like put to the side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's beautiful, man.
By the way, I'll say one last thing. Don't let Guy's love of Persona 5 fool you. The reason he plays Joker in Smash is because he's a tier whore.
You know, he is a bit of a whore in multiple different ways.
Hey,
Because
look,
I know,
my
because I know
character-
damn well in every Persona game he's played, he's always gone with the harem route.
Damn straight.
Yeah, I know you well. Okay,
Damn fucking straight.
are you ready for your next question, guys? Or is there anything else you'd like to say on Persona 5?
No, that's pretty much it on Persona 5. If you've not played this game, please do. It goes on sale. It's on every system. Please. Oh my god, it is worth whatever money you put into it. Please.
Okay,
Well,
guy.
Guy, we have another question for you.
Uh-oh.
And that question is, what is one game that you would replay with no memory if you could? Like, if you could just zap that memory away of the game, play it from scratch, what game would that be for you?
Easy. Among Us.
Yeah.
You know, Among Us is very well known for its storytelling.
Exactly. And it's social deduction, dude. Like, if I didn't... I just have to, realize, man, I'm a pro at Among Us, so, like, everything's so easy. I can't just lose anymore, but having to learn how to be, like, a gaslighter, now that's what it's all about. No, I'm
What?
kidding. It's not Among Us.
When Red killed Blue in Electrical, I was so distraught.
Real.
Genuinely peak storytelling.
The craziest anime betrayal of all time.
It was really
Real.
weird when they went on that Fall Guys arc, but it's whatever.
It is whatever. But, yeah, no. So I usually have, like, a couple answers for this question. I could either say something like obviously like something like Persona 5. I could say Breath of the Wild again for its openness and like how willing that game is to just like be experimental. But I'm gonna go with the answer for storytelling in this one. And if there were a game that I wish to replay again with a brand new perspective, it would be God of War 2018. For a multitude of reasons. First, I think that game is a masterpiece. It is my second favorite game ever, and it has also had an effect on me that I feel like no other game really has. But the problem that I had going into it was not even anything that the game did on its, it wasn't anything of the fault of the game. The problem was that when I first played it, I was too young to understand the mastery of storytelling that I was experiencing. I, as a kid, understood like, hey, this is really deep, and I'm understanding like a good amount of stuff and like being moved by the game. The problem is that I, as a kid, just didn't understand absolutely everything, and I mean that's not my fault because like I'm a fucking kid, obviously, like duh. But like I feel like as an adult now, it would just change me more, because I would be able to understand it even better and like get a grander like picture of like what it's trying to tell. And not saying that I like don't have that, because I've played this game like 5 or 6 times. But the thing is that like I would love to experience a story to that degree and quality over and over again, because of just how much of an effect it had on me as a kid. So imagine like as an adult where I have like a fully I'm not fully developed brain. Yeah, I'm not 25, but imagine like with a more developed brain, like how much of an effect it would have on me now, because I'd be able to understand it. I would like understand Kratos more and understand like everything that's going on. But like, yeah, no, that's just my pick. And also, like, that game is fun as fuck and it's raw as hell. So of course I want to like experience all that again.
Yeah, that game is pretty raw.
I don't think we're gonna push past what I just heard. What was that audio I heard in the background?
It may or may not have been Rhythm Heaven.
That's crazy.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah, I didn't unmute myself at the right time.
That's really fucking funny. Oh my god. But yeah, no.
Long day at work. I needed some beats to relax to.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. But yeah, no. I would pick God of War 2018. That game is phenomenal. Please play it. It's a masterpiece. 10 out of 10.
That is an amazing game, guy. An amazing answer. But now we have one last amazing question for you.
And that question is, Guy, why do you, specifically you, play video games?
I'm a gooner.
That tracks.
Damn, no wonder you had that weird Chun-Li mod on.
Yeah. Yeah, no, simple answer. But yeah, no, seriously. Thank you guys so much for watching today's episode. If you like this kind of content, I'm kidding. No, like, being dead ass. I fucking love video games. I'm just gonna make this quick because I don't want to repeat some of the points that my fellow compatriots have already said before. But basically, I was experiencing video games at a very young age. I understood how just expressive they were. It's a way for me to express myself. It's my favorite medium of storytelling whatsoever. I don't think there's any other medium that can do it as well as video games because you yourself have to make the decisions and you yourself have to make like the actions for the story to play out, which I don't think any other medium can come anywhere close to being like as immersive or like as investing. They are my passion. I play them every single day because I always want to experience something new and I always want to see what other like visionaries have in store for me and like what they want to like tell or experience. Or like they're just simple fun. Like being able to play Balatro on my phone every day is kind of fucking awesome. And it's just a lot of fun because I get to like think about the actions that I take, but also it's just like something I can bond with people over. I can play Smash Brothers with my friends and be a fucking shithead against them, but it's because like I'm enjoying my time with them and I'm enjoying the game that I'm playing. There's so many reasons as to why like video games are something I play, but it's just like there's no straightforward answer that I could give you except for like, hey, this is just something that has a massive impact on my life. It is something that no other medium can like really do in terms of expression, and I appreciate it every single day for doing that. But yeah, no, that's basically my answer on that. I fucking love video games for a variety of reasons, and I don't think there's going to be a point, unless I like Giga have to lock in, aka like be a dad or some shit, that I'm going to like quit video games. But even then, if those kids are too fucking demanding, I will just put them up for adoption.
Damn. You're gonna give him a video game protagonist arc. My deadbeat father abandoned me at the young age of 2 weeks because he was playing Final Fantasy VII.
I was just Jesus Christ.
He said he wanted me to have a sad Sephiroth backstory or something.
Or some shit.
And then
I don't know.
he proceeded to hit the gritty as we ran away.
Fortnite style. Oh yeah, no, that's basically it. That is my thought process on that.
All right, I think with that we have one other last thing before we wrap up, and that's for the audience. Mostly just a gigantic thank you for even clicking on this video or clicking on any of the videos we've uploaded the past couple of years, because this has been a journey for us.
No, dude, I'm gonna be real. I did not expect us to like keep doing this like weekly at the pace that we've been doing it, and like also just like becoming like better like talkers and just like being better with like the concepts we're talking about. I'm so glad we've done this.
Yeah, it's been a real fun like just like I want to say like close to a year, a little over a year.
It's been about 2 years.
Yeah, it's been about 2 years.
I meant to say 2 years.
Connor can't do math.
This is why he's an English major.
Yeah.
True.
That's why most of us are English majors.
Truing.
Except
Real.
me.
But
I'm
you
the
also
odd one out.
probably can't do math.
Can any of us do
Connor,
math?
quickly, what's 2 plus 3?
Fuck, 7.
Yep, that's right.
I think that's right.
Yeah. 2 plus 2 equals 5, whatever 1984 said.
Real. But yeah, no, I'm so happy with how this has turned out. I mean, dude, we've had a lot of changes, like, throughout, like, our entire thing. Like, we had Hayden, like, in the beginning, which, like, to be fair, he just wasn't as passionate about it as we were. So, like, he was just like, hey, like, I'll, like, still be, like, a guest if, like, there's something I, like, want to talk about, but it's, like, I'm not gonna be able to do it, which is completely fine. And it's, like, we've had a lot of changes as time has gone on, especially with like our formatting of the videos and just how we like make them now. I want to say,
Yeah, definitely. A lot of things are still the same, especially because with our busy schedules, we haven't like really radically changed anything too much. But we've been making small improvements as time's gone on. That and changing the ways we like even do our thumbnails, like the way we even make those, because the style of thumbnails we had at the beginning was kind of just mimicking a lot of other YouTubers until we kind of figured out it's better if we try to stick to our guns and not just use the same basic format for everything.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
now we're a little more varied.
Yeah,
yeah,
I think
exactly.
Yeah,
think
I mean,
we-
hell, our first videos didn't even have music as well in them.
yeah, which I'm glad it's something we changed.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think those early days we did definitely rush into a lot of things. I remember when we first released the first batches of our episodes, we all were as busy as usual. So I was stuck trying to just upload all of them. They were taking a while to upload because it was like 5 different videos all at once, and YouTube was not having it.
Oh my god, you want to hear something really funny about actually our first episode?
Oh
Is
yeah.
It's that it's
Yeah, I
tied-
think I know.
Finally,
Yeah.
we're doing the lore drop that we've only known. Only us couple of fetch questers have known.
Hell,
Wait,
does
what's the lore?
Liam even know this lore?
I probably
think Liam
don't.
wasn't here when the lore.
I
when that
probably
lore
don't.
happened.
Drop the
What
lore.
is it? Yeah, drop it.
All right, so originally in our first episode, we weren't even the Fetch Quest podcast. Like, that's something I had to
God!
I had to actually
I hate this so much.
I had to actually edit it in because I think guys wanted us to get our first recordings done quickly so we could get to editing them. And he just randomly said like checkmate, like the Checkmate podcast, I think because it's something Dante from Devil May Cry said.
Yes, because he's raw as fuck and he's
And
awesome.
And then when we were discussing what our name should be later on, that's when we did our second episode. So we were like, hey, how are we gonna fix the first episode saying checkmate? So I just had to mute Guy for that bit, and because I couldn't get his voice on for that day, I had to record my own voice saying Fetch Quest. But to make it seem like it was just Guy's voice, I just put some audio filters over it. Just to make it sound like I was just trying to emphasize it for no particular reason.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, so we
know
weren't
what's
the Fetch Quest
Yeah.
podcast originally.
Another bit of lore is that actually I think I was the one who came up with the name Fetch Quest Podcast.
yeah, you were.
So
That's
there's
true.
another bit of lore for you.
Yeah, and the
So-
other lore for the beginnings of the channel is I'm the one who drew up the YouTube icon, and the one who's drawn up all the avatars that we use to this day.
Yeah.
I've drawn a few, but we've sort of retired the ones I drew.
Yeah, they were mostly customs that only really fit the context of the games we were talking about. So I mean, it's fair.
And I guess this has to go back to my naming thing of like, the reason I suggested Fetch Quest Podcast is because at that time, I had been really into, and I still am, was watching SideQuest, the YouTube group SideQuest, and so I was just like, you know what, let's just name ourselves something like that, and it was like, oh, FetchQuest, that's a popular video game term, so why not that? And so that's how we became the FetchQuest podcast.
I cannot think of like fetch quest without thinking of the podcast first. Like the term of a fetch quest has no meaning to me anymore.
Yeah, it used to be just something that I would use when I was thinking of like Zelda, like, oh, like the big Goron sword fetch quest. You know, funnily enough, this 100th episode, originally, it was just going to be like our favorite fetch quest in video games until we came up with this idea instead.
Yeah, I think this was a lot better of an idea, because...
I think so as well.
Yeah, instead of talking about the big Goron sword in Ocarina of Time and its importance to gaming history.
Yeah, because I'm going to be for real, fetch quests are forgetful and not liked for a reason.
Are you saying we're forgetful and not liked, Connor?
Yes.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Damn,
Big
dude.
Fetch Quest fan.
Yeah,
Personally,
kick him out, kick him out, kick him out.
Kick
Get out, eat out.
Three person
Personally, when,
squad or 4-person
kick him out. Everyone, our next episode, we're doing auditions. If you'd like to join the Fetch Quest podcast, comment below.
Personally, whenever
Preferably
comment
someone
down why
who
you want
doesn't.
to join.
Yeah, preferably someone who doesn't like Deltarune so much.
Can I say my
Put
joke
down.
now?
No.
Put down the number on your credit card, the 3 numbers on the back, the expiration date, your date of birth, your social security number, and then we can get to talking.
For legal reasons, that's a joke.
For legal reasons, guys, not joking, actually.
No, for legal reasons, so you can't ever sue us. That's a joke.
But
What were we saying, Connor?
I was going to say, personally, whenever I stop recording with you guys, I forget that you even exist at all. Because you're just so forgetful.
Damn,
Damn,
Connor,
bro.
that's hurtful.
Yeah, well, deal with it.
Sag.
Alright,
That's
I
crazy.
think we're at that point of, like, I think we should wrap up after that.
No, I think so as well. This been just kind of rambling, but I think it's kind of deserved. Like 100 fucking episodes. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, think about it, 100 episodes, and they never knew that we weren't originally the Fetch Quest podcast.
And hey, look, Dante was right there. I was like, fuck, we need a name. Checkmate. Boom.
Is that why our fucking server icon is Dante?
Connor didn't know
Yes.
that lore? Oh my god.
Wait, you
Even
didn't know
Connor-
that? Like,
Connor's
what?
getting a lore reveal as
Wait.
well.
That's Dante?
Yeah, that's Dante.
I can't. It's so hard to see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tiny Discord icon, so that's understandable.
I've been wanting to change it to our actual fucking icon for forever now, but I can't because guy's admin.
Dude, I forget every time, and it's like, I can't unsee, like, Dante.
Because it is Dante!
Exactly. And he goes, checkmate.
Oh my
No,
lord.
knowing Guy, he's gonna be like, all right, guys, I'll change it, and he just changes it to Virgil instead.
No, don't
Hey,
give
look.
him that idea.
For the 100th episode, I will actually change our server icon.
Okay, thank you. Alright, but with that being said, we have been Fetch Quest. We thank you for being on this on this
adventure.
Yes, on this adventure, on our many different Fetch Quests. And we thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Yeah. On to another 100 adventures with the Fetch Quest podcasters.
Goodbye.
Real.
Goodbye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everybody.